Hi Sagittarius, and welcome to your May 2021 tarot reading. Welcome to Saturn Secrets. If you enjoy this video, please like and subscribe if you're new, and if you're a regular here, welcome back and thank you for joining me. I'm now taking bookings for the May 2021 private readings, so if you want a tarot reading with me or an astrology reading or a combination of both, you can contact me via the email below. So Sagittarius, wow, this month, huge. You have a lunar eclipse in your sign, the 26th, and this is a whole new beginning for you. You're letting go of some aspect of yourself. Now, for everyone, this is going to be different. For Sagittarius rising, it's likely to be to do with what you look like. It's likely that you want to change your appearance in some way. For some of you, you want to make this change for yourself of who you are and your next phase going forward. You want to make this change, but there's a little bit of a hesitancy there that you think, maybe I can't. Maybe my past is the way it is and I can't move away from this. Maybe I can't move away from this certain neighborhood, this certain area, this certain line of work, this certain pattern in my life, this certain way of living. Maybe my past is defining me too much. And if you feel like your past is defining you too much, then this is absolutely the time. This is absolutely the time, Sagittarius, to go for those changes, to let go of what's not serving you in terms of your identity. I think for a lot of you, you want to rebrand yourself. You want to check your social media. How does it reflect you? You want to check your work. How does it reflect you? Your image. What do you want to change? How is it you want to look? Page of Cups, perhaps it's to do with how you communicate, to do with how you love, even who you are in a partnership, who you are in a relationship, who you are to your children, how you define yourself as a parent, or maybe that you'd like to be a parent. Big questions, big things coming up for you, Sagittarius. And underneath, Eight of Pentacles, whatever it is, it's involving some form of study, some form of learning. You're in a season where the Gemini Sagittarius axis that reflects you is to do with how you learn, how you communicate information. Sometimes Sagittarians can have these big ideas and they can really understand big concepts. It's what makes you so intelligent. And sometimes you feel like you're not being well received because to other people, perhaps that's not necessarily rooted in facts as they know it. But you have that higher philosophical attitude that not everyone understands at times. And maybe that's part of your identity change. Page of Cups again. There's a romantic energy for you. So, oh my goodness, the star. There's a romantic energy for you that's so beautiful. Three of Swords. And now this is in the positive position, so don't jump to conclusions. The Emperor and the Seven of Wands. So Sagittarius, you are going to be healing from something significant. For a lot of you, Sagittarius, Mars going through Cancer, I have to say, is pulling up some old wounds for you. Now, the reason that I say that is because Cancer is your 8th house, and in here is a very primal energy. And it's also where we shift, right? It's where we transmute certain energies and create something else for ourselves. It's where we evolve. It's where we have a phoenix moment. And with the Three of Swords in the positive position, this is what you're doing. You're evolving from something that could be heart chakra based. So it could be how you see your worth, how you see your relationships with people. For some of you, especially female Sagittarians, it could have been to do with a divorce or loss of a husband or loss of a father that has in some way shaped who you're becoming in your future with this eclipse. It's in some way to do with how you were raised, how you were brought up, your lineage, your heritage, your past as it stands is something that you're going to be transmuting into your next phase, something that you're powerfully defending. The thing about Jupiter moving into Pisces is that when it comes to your family, you'll be super protective. And you're also going to be advancing. Yep. Knight of Pentacles, slowly but surely, Sagittarius, you're going to be advancing in your work, in your money, in your commitments, in your contracts. Yes. Okay. Let's have a little look. Queen of Swords, the Empress, the Justice card. Libra is showing up heavily in your cards. Justice and the Three of Pentacles. So things coming to you in May. Let's have a little investigation. So the Star card, there's a wish involved here. There's something that you really want. There's something that you maybe need. There is something that you would like to be hopeful for. And for a lot of you, the thing that's working against you in obtaining that is power. Pluto is retrograding now in your sector of worth, of value. How powerful you feel, Sagittarius, likely depends on your financial state. It likely depends on your material assets, but it also depends on how secure you feel in general, maybe in relationships, maybe in status. And the more you try to control these things, the more they seem to evade you, which is always when we have to ask why. You're great at asking why. But the Three of Swords in your positive suggests that in terms of something that has not worked for you, something that's caused you a lot of grief, a lot of pain, maybe a mistake that you made in the past, that you've had a hard time forgiving yourself for or forgiving someone else for. It might be time for that new beginning, that shedding of skin. You are not the same person you were when this happened. You're not the same person you were when you made a choice you wish you hadn't. You're not the same person you were that ran away from something you wish you hadn't ran away from. You're not the same person you were when you really hurt somebody or when you lost somebody. You're not that person. For a lot of Sagittarians, I find, especially Sagittarians who are in their 40s, 50s, there's usually one thing, and it's a mistake, or it is an action with a consequence where there was a lot of hurt for other people around you. For a lot of Sagittarians, it can be the breakdown of a relationship. It can be a betrayal of some kind, something like that. There's usually something in a Sagittarian's past that is to do with shooting the arrows too quickly. And it's just part of life. It's that Jupiter energy of the expansiveness. Sometimes it all expands too much, too quickly, and then there's a consequence. And within that consequence, there's a philosophy. There's an understanding. And you're in the midst here of figuring out what that is. Now, the sky has gone very dark, so I'm losing my light a little bit, so apologies. You're in the midst of figuring out what that is, what that meaning is, why, just why. What the philosophy is, what the learning is. You just have to be open to it. Around the eclipse in your sign, you're going to feel very defensive. You're going to want to fight people off. You're going to want to resist in a huge way. Maybe a financial opportunity, maybe financial assistance, maybe helping someone else. Maybe you're going to want to resist this material thing that's manifesting in your life because it's not complete. Maybe it just feels like you're on your own. Queen of Swords can notoriously feel like she's on her own. It can be someone who's divorced or widowed or anything like this, but it doesn't have to be. It can just be someone who has started to feel a little bit wary of the world. And what's beautiful about that is that it's replaced by Empress energy, the Empress, Justice, and the Three of Pentacles. With Jupiter moving into your fourth house, your family, those closest to you, are going to bring you a lot of blessings. For a lot of you with the Empress and the Justice card, you're committing to a new identity. You are going to be changing what you look like. You're going to be changing what you sound like. You're going to be changing what you do, your hobbies, your actions. You're going to be changing your home in a big way. Perhaps a lot of you are moving home and it's changing your identity in some way. It's a completely different neighborhood. Maybe it's the first time you've lived alone. Maybe for some of you, it's the first time that you have been single in your adult life, or maybe it's the first time you've been in a relationship, or maybe it's the first time you've become a grandparent or a parent or anything like this. This eclipse brings in this new change into your life that's a big part of who you're going to be, and it's connected as well. Three of Pentacles and Justice. Some of you are signing a new contract in terms of work, in terms of money, in terms of building something, maybe building a home, maybe building a career for yourself. Whatever this is, Sagittarius, it requires you to let go of the idea that your past is still defining who you are. Because when you have an eclipse like this in your sign, it's total. The past is just the only thing that's holding you back a little bit at the moment, because Jupiter is in your sector of the past. It's in tension with this eclipse, and it's saying to you, you can't be who you want to be because this happened. And you have to say, I can be who I want to be because I learned from that. I see the philosophy in that. I see the higher reason. And I actually, as much as it sounds peculiar, I'm really happy that that happened, because now I can be this person. Or maybe you're not happy that it happened, but you see what's going on for you and where the possibilities lie now, and how that can actually be a really good thing. A really good thing. Especially if part of what has troubled you so much is to do with a male, or it's to do with a father figure or a husband, or maybe your role as someone senior, someone superior. Maybe for some of you, you lost a job and you're looking for who you are now. And you're going to do really well with that. You're going to do really well with discovering who you are now. Let's see how that goes, actually, Sagittarius. I'm going to give you extra cards because it's your eclipse. Oh, goodness. Okay. Yes. All right. So I have to say, Sagittarius, there is a clear theme of some sort of betrayal or regret surrounding a commitment in your past, maybe a marriage, maybe a relationship, maybe a career path you committed to and you think, nah, why did I do that? Why did I do that? Whatever it is, there's a regret here. It feels personal though. It feels like something that happened to you or you did to someone, or something that is so ingrained in your past that you feel a little bit trapped by it in the run up to the eclipse, and that's okay. Even if it's not bothered you for some time, the reason that it's bothering you now is so that you can transmute, so that you can change, so that you can adapt. Because for a lot of you, you have gifts and untapped potential that were what you were looking for. You were looking for freedom. You were looking for the ability to be light-footed, to move around the world, almost in a nomadic sense, to be able to communicate, to be able to converse, to be able to put a message out there. For a lot of you that have done very well in business, you might be regretting that because you want to do something completely different and you have trouble leaving behind what you've built for yourself. Whatever is not in alignment with your new identity, Sagittarius, may fall, but it'll be your choice. It'll be your choice. You'll have been feeling this for quite a while. You'll have been thinking of this, considering this. You'll have an idea that this is what you want for yourself. But that Three of Swords is intriguing. Let's have a little look. Two of Pentacles. You are still a little bit hurt over a decision. Star card, Temperance. Your star is rising. Jupiter is moving signs, and when your ruler moves signs, Sagittarius, you get a blessing. When it moves into a water sign house, though, the blessing is usually to do with healing. It's to do with reconciliation. For a lot of you, it's reconciling with someone from your past, getting that forgiveness, getting that closeness, getting that understanding with somebody. Maybe with Saturn going through Aquarius, it's a sibling. Maybe it is a parent. Whatever this is. Your new identity is clear. You're looking sharp. Your throat chakra is activated. You can speak with clarity. You can communicate. You can articulate. You can show up. You can be confident, you can be triumphant, you can be victorious, and you can use the gifts, the blessings that you have that for some reason or another were sacrificed in your past. You can let go of that. And maybe you have a regret of running away from something, but it's important that you never run away from yourself. Jupiter and Pisces can make that very clear. Maybe you just need to persevere. There's news coming in. There's news coming in for you, Sagittarius, that's very linked to a new opportunity, a new contract, a new identity, with the Empress and Justice, for a lot of you, you are ordering new clothes, you're ordering new beauty products, you are creating your own business. If you're in something that's to do with beauty, or you're in something that's very creative, this is going to go really well for you. You're going to attract a lot of clients, you're going to attract a lot of possibilities, a lot of opportunities. And for a lot of you, maybe there's more potential for you to work from home or a new premises. That's something that's coming up for you as well. It's likely that you're going to be attracting a lot of romantic suitors if you're single. Maybe people that want to be quite serious with you. And maybe that makes you a bit scared. Maybe that makes you a little bit hesitant, because whether you don't trust them or you don't trust yourself, both can be just as complicated. And you rarely find one without the other either. Now, the Emperor is sitting out on his own. So for a lot of you, you could have been very hurt by an Aries, very hurt by a Scorpio. And for a lot of you, it's being very hurt by a father or someone who abandoned you when you needed them. And maybe that made you abandon everyone else in your adult life, or maybe that made you fear it, or maybe that was a cycle that repeated for you. But with the Emperor and the Six of Cups, you're ready to heal that wound. You're ready to look into it a little bit. You're not so willing to fight it off all the time, because that's exhausting. If you start working on this, if you start understanding it more, healing from it more, leaning into it, doing that philosophical thing you do so well, where you discover the new knowledge that people need, you will have a lot of opportunities for love, a lot of opportunities for money, a lot of opportunities for work. But it does require you, oh, there's a little robin sitting on my window. It does require you to let things go. Perhaps it was an earth sign, a Taurus, Virgo, a Capricorn, or this could be somebody new in your life. We will get into the extended Sagittarius, but I'm going to link that down below. If this is where we part ways, just remember around the eclipse to be very gentle with yourself. You are changing in a big way. Think back to December. What was it you were thinking of changing? And just remember, with Jupiter changing signs, that you know yourself that growth can be quite uncomfortable, but it's very worth it. So I'll see you in the extended Sagittarius. Bye.